I firmly believe championships are won in the offseason.
I'm pretty excited about this opportunity. I appreciate you guys coming in. This is one of the greatest football players that came through South, and just I was not here whenever he came to school here, but me talking to the other coaches that were here at that time, it's a pretty unbelievable story. From his freshman year, he was one of the kids that got moved up when they went to a state championship game. As a junior, I hope you don't mind me talking about this, but he lost the starting quarterback job, but then went over to the defensive side of the ball and started as a free safety and was all over the field. One of the guys that Coach Gettings talked about, you do not want to run into. Like, he wanted to punish people whenever they came across the middle. And it was not like dirty stuff. It was he wanted to do his job and dominate on the other side. From that, he ended up in the off-season during the summertime, going over, and you can jump in at any point, but over at Sports City, they played like a 7-on-7 league with him and his friends. And he was planning on going to wide receiver the following year. And his buddies kind of talked him in after seeing how awesome he was doing there into playing quarterback. And then his senior year led the team to a state championship. And I've heard this story about 2 million times. Was it Francis Halligan?
Yes.
Between Coach Gettings and Coach Oder talking about it, said it was one of those moments during a football game that you wish you had on video. They were down 7, not very much time left in the game. Had an offensive lineman that was hurt, that was basically ready to come out of the game. Another guy on the offensive line talking him into playing. Had him step into the huddle and told those guys, we could go down or we could freaking score right now. And that's exactly what they did. And he was a great leader during that time. And then the job he's done at Lindenwood is just unbelievable. Set the all-time NCAA tackle record. There was a time as a junior where the quarterback got hurt.
Yeah.
Somebody on the offensive side of the ball got hurt, and they moved him over and basically ran Wildcat for the entire game and rushed for the school record. Is that right?
Close to 200 yards. It was a school record, but it was. We were losing that game. It was our last game of the season of my sophomore year, and we were playing like the worst team in our conferences. Like between us two, we weren't very good, and quarterback was struggling, and we put some Wildcat stuff in that week. And coach was like, hey, we need you to go in and just do what you can. So I went in there, and we ended up scoring a few touchdowns. I had a pretty good game, but ended up winning the game, which was the best part. But yeah, it was a good game. It was a lot of fun.
So from that college career is now going through the process. He trained for the combine, and he was just telling us in the office about what he had to do to train for the combine. And then now, just yesterday, met with the Kansas City Chiefs, and they worked him out at linebacker and fullback. I kind of want to open this up where any kind of questions or anything that you want to talk about, that we can do that. But feel free, and I think any range of those, from his time in high school and how it went, and winning a state championship here, to his time in college and that transition from moving from safety and quarterback to the linebacker spot, or where he's at right now, which in my opinion is would have been my dream to do exactly what he's doing right now. Like it gets me pretty excited to listen to him and the steps that he's going through. I'm pretty sure that a lot of you guys sitting in here is probably the same way. So kind of open it up, any questions that you guys have.
Yeah. I mean, I'm here for you guys, so.
How's it feel to be back here after the World?
It's good. It's kind of surreal. This is my locker room coming in here. It's kind of weird to be back, but it's awesome. This is something that when you guys go through here and then you guys graduate, it's something you guys will always hold on to. I love coming back as much as I could. I played college ball for the seasons. It was hard to get back, but I still follow up with you guys. I still talk with the coaches, text them every week. Hey, best of luck this week, or how's everything going? So it's good to be back. It really is.
How do you think you've grown mentally since you left?
Oh man, I've grown in a lot of different ways, especially mentally. Always, the transition from high school to college is difficult. I changed positions. going to play at a different school. You know, it's just kind of throughout my whole career, going through injuries and stuff like that, something I never faced here. It was tough, but you know, something I just prayed about all the time. I think I grew mentally. I grew in a lot of ways, but specifically mentally, just going through trials and getting through them, and then that prepares you for other trials and stuff you go through. So I'd say that's probably how I improved mentally.
What's your greatest weakness and how have you overcome it?
Greatest weakness. I'd probably say my greatest weakness is probably the pressure I put on myself. You know, I always want to be perfect in everything I do. But in all reality, nobody's perfect. You know, no matter how hard you want to be perfect, no one will ever be. So just realizing that and being able to, you know, understand that everyone fails, but it's what you do after you fail, you know, and to rebuild. So using that mental part of it and being able to overcome that is probably my greatest weakness, because I still struggle with that. You know, even yesterday, my wife can attest to this, just going into the Chiefs workout, you know, Tuesday I figured out I was doing fullback position stuff. I've never been working on fullback stuff, and so I was like, man, I don't want to mess up, you know, I want to look as good as I can, and just put a ton of pressure on myself. And then at the end of the day, I was like, you know, I killed that workout. I couldn't have done any better. And so just believing in yourself, that's something I kind of struggle with.
Because I've heard so many people talk about your work ethic in the weight room and how determined in your intensity both in the weight room and on the football field, how it was always consistent. I'm kind of curious how you got to that. Or was it that way from your freshman year on? Or?
No, so, man, my freshman year, I want to say I was like 130 pounds. You know, I was pretty small. And I liked working out, and I thought it was cool, but I always just liked going in there and kind of doing whatever I wanted to do. I was never very good at bench press, so I never did bench press. So they probably don't like me saying this, but on my card, I would skip bench press, where I wouldn't do as many sets I should. Don't do that to your team. But I really started after my junior football season. I'd play football, I'd play basketball, and then I'd run track every year up until my junior year. I was like, come on, I really want to focus on the weight room. The off-season getting bigger and faster. And so a guy by the name of Max Williams, he was a year older than me, kind of took me under his wing, excuse me, and after the season, he kind of showed me, you know, how he worked out and stuff. And just learning from him and you know, eating right and understanding that, you know, what you put in your body is feeling you. And you know, that kind of just took over. I got stronger, I got bigger, and then that helped me transition on the football field. Because, you know, no longer I was getting ran over and missing tackles and stuff. I was able to, you know, use that to my advantage, and so it really helped me out.
How important is to be a team player?
Oh, it's extremely important. And I think that's the biggest part. I think that's why why we've won so many championships and we have the tradition we do, is because it's not about you, it's not about me, it's not about you, it's about us as a team. And that's something that was instilled when I got here, and I hope it still is now with you guys. But, you know, that's how you win state championships. That's how you guys, you know, have this locker room, is because guys truly believe that. And where I think we struggled in college was we had guys that it was about them, and that's why we won 3 games a year, and we struggled. And just trying to implement, you know, team and unity in our college team was tough, because coming from here, it was just expected. Everyone is about you. I was playing for you. I was playing for you. And I knew that they were playing for me. Where in college, it was tough because a lot of guys just wanted to have that scholarship. They wanted to go play in the NFL, and they thought it was about themselves. But, man, this is, and I will say this all the time, is I had the most fun playing football here than I ever have. And that's because every time I walked out on the field, I still get the chills just listening to Hell's Bells. I don't know if you guys still walk out to it, but, you know, just hearing that, because it was like, man, those are my dudes that we're about to go to war with. And college is different, because it's like, I would play for them, but are they really playing for me? And so, you know, playing as a team is what's going to get you guys, you know, to the playoffs and past the playoffs is where you guys want to end up, and that's the state championship.
How have you stayed so motivated for so long?
I think it's really just because I've been sitting in your guys' chairs, and I've always had that dream. I'm sure you guys had a dream of going to play college football, going on to try and play in the NFL or doing other things, playing other sports in college, and having those dreams and kind of seeing myself get steps up to that point and to where I'm at now. But I've also had trials where my sophomore year I was injured. I had never had an injury, and I blew my shoulder out. I had to get shoulder surgery, missed the whole season, and that was tough for me. And I was at my lowest of my lows, and I was like, I can sit here and feel sorry for myself, or I can keep pushing and get back to where I want to be. And so, there's a lot of guys, a lot of coaches, a lot of guys that are my best friends still, that were my teammates, that just kept pushing me. And my wife and my family just were always there for me. So I always felt like I owed it to them that I need to get back to where I was. And just self-motivation. I was like, I want to be someone that accomplishes my dreams. Someone that, there's a chart you can look at that shows, how many high school football players there are. They go on to college, they go on to the combine, the NFL, stuff like that. And it's so low. And I was like, I want to be one of those, percentages. I want to be the 0.01% that makes it. And so, just always, realizing your dreams and chasing those dreams no matter what.
On that, Coach, is there any kind of inspiration figure to you, or books or people that really inspired you along the way?
Yeah, so when I got to Lindenwood, the big reason why I chose Lindenwood was because I went on my visit and I met 3 of my best friends now that just were huge in their faith and just huge in accepting me. And they really inspired me to just go out there and be what I could be, and had a great coaching staff there, great coaches here. I just had a lot of people in my life that really cared about me and wanted to see me succeed. And so, I wouldn't say like I read a book that really inspired me, but just what inspired me was how many people believed in me.
How do you handle disappointments when you don't reach your goals?
It's tough, I beat myself up about it, But at the end of the day, with time and trying to move forward, it's just one of those things. Like I said earlier, you try and be perfect. I went into the combine with these goals of what I wanted to run, what I wanted to jump and stuff like that. I didn't reach any of those goals, And so now I'm sitting here, and the first couple days after, I was like, I didn't do what I wanted to do, and it beat me up inside. But as time went on, I was like, nobody's perfect. I got to move on and control what I can control now, and that's at this moment. So it's tough for me, it really is. And I would just say, the big thing I've been told through this process is control the controllables. I can't worry about what this other linebacker did. I can't worry about what this team said about me, or what this media source said about me. Control what I can control. That's how I move on.
What did you learn as a janitor early
I think the biggest thing for me was being selfless, putting everyone before me. I think it comes along with team unity, and man, I learned so much discipline through here. I got to college, and even when we were just doing conditioning stuff, or going to class and showing up on time in the weight room, I learned that from here. There's guys there that didn't have very good high school programs. Coaches didn't really care about them, so they didn't really have any guidance on what to do. So I was very fortunate to go there, and I always felt like I was a step above everyone because I kind of knew the ropes before they did. And it wasn't from my experience in college, it's from high school. So I'd say definitely the biggest thing I've carried on since here is discipline and being selfless.
How did your high school coaches at this high school prepare you for your college level?
Kind of piggybacking off that, I didn't really know what to expect going in, but what they always taught me was, discipline and hard work. and just kind of putting your head down and moving through it, because there's going to be trials, there's going to be times where, it's going to be tough. And I went from here to Lindenwood, and I had a completely different coaching staff. They coached completely different. I had a coach that, at first I thought he didn't really care about me. Now he's one of my favorite coaches, love him to death, but you mess up, it wasn't just, hey, better luck next time. He would let you know you messed up. So that was really tough for me, but what I learned from them, from this coaching staff here, is just, it's always keep working. It's one of those things where things aren't always going to be your way, but at the end of the day, if you keep working hard and you keep putting others before you and show that you're part of this team, and everything will turn out.
How was your experience working with the Chiefs?
So yesterday with the Chiefs, it was really good. So I went in, and just had like an hour-long workout with them. So did some fullback stuff, did some routes out of the backfield, and then did some linebacker drills. Talked with the coaches, talked with Dorsey, the GM, and it went really well. It was just a little workout, and I talked to them at the Senior Bowl. Didn't talk to them at the Combine, but it was good to go out there and kind of show them some more stuff I could do.
You said you found out on Tuesday that you'd be doing the fullback stuff.
Yeah, so throughout this process, some teams have asked me, hey, would you mind playing fullback at the next level? I was like, I'll do anything to step on the field and play. But I had never worked out, so like at the Combine, I only did linebacker stuff. At the Senior Bowl, I only did linebacker. So I got an email Tuesday that showed that I was a fullback / inside linebacker. So they had me do position work at fullback. So it was one of those things I didn't know what to expect. I was kind of inside freaking out, like, what am I going to do? Am I going to try and really going to try and put me through some fullback drills that I've never done? So, but at the end of the day, I just went out there and gave my all. I think it turned out really well.
What were some of the drills that they had to do? Talk to the office a little bit about that.
So we did different routes just out of the backfield, like running backs do, some flat routes, some swing routes, some wheel routes. And then put us out as like a receiver, inside slot receiver, did some slants, some hitches, stuff like that. Then went over to linebacker drills. We did some bag work, just shuffling through the bags, did some drops, 45-degree drops, stuff like that. It went pretty quick, so it wasn't a whole lot, but it was kind of tiring because I was the only one that did both drills. A lot of guys just did one position drill.
You talk a little bit about training for the Combine, like what you were talking about.
Yeah. So I'd always been like still am a huge, weight room guy that loves working out, doing everything I can. It was tough going to train for the Combine because the Combines consist of, 40-yard dash, vertical, broad jump, 5-10-5, 60-yard shuttle, 3-cone drill, and I don't know if I'm forgetting something, bench press. And so the training was specifically for those drills. So I wasn't going in there and just trying to squat 500 pounds or bench, whatever. It was, really get up in the morning, about 5:30, eat breakfast, be at the facility by 7:30. From 8 to about 10, we'd work on speed work, so we'd work all the drills. Really, they broke it down and really taught us how to properly run, different stuff like that. Then 3 days a week, we did position work from about 10 to 11, then we ate lunch. 11 to noon, we ate lunch. Then we had a really good athletic training staff, so anything that was hurting that day, they worked on it. Then we went in the weight room. About 2 o'clock, that's where we worked all our jumps, and then we had an emphasis on bench press. So we do that to about 4, then we have a nutrition meeting. I had 2 dietitians on staff, so they really helped us with our meal plans and teaching us that nutrition is what's able to fuel you out there on the field. And then we'd have dinner and we'd be done. So it was 13, 14-hour days for 2 months straight. It was a lot of fun, but at the same time it was work. And training was different from what I was used to. I was used to just going to the weight room and being on a set program to overall build my strength. But that was more for the Combine.
how's your mentality on the field versus off the field?
I feel like I'm able to like flip the switch in a sense. That when I get on the field, I'm able to block everything out. Whatever's going on in my life outside of football. And then really, for a long time, it was, I looked at it like football was my life, and for a long time, that's how I looked at life. Football is football. I ate, slept, breathed football. And then when I got injured, I kind of understood how quick football can be taken from me. And so, man, I was like, I can't be so worked up about football. I'd go to practice if I dropped an interception or I had a bad practice, I would beat myself up until the next practice. I would just be in a bad mood. I'd treat her not very well. I wouldn't treat my friends very well because I was so mad at me not being able to be perfect. So I really understood that football can be taken from you in a second, whether that's injury, whether that's whatever. And so after my sophomore year, I kind of started realizing that when I step on that field, it needs to be just the love for the game and don't take anything for granted. And so that's kind of how my mentality switched. And then I'd say just going out there, just having fun. Especially this past year, because it was my senior year. I had no idea if I was going to be able to have a shot after. So every time I stepped on the field, whether it was practice or a game, I was like, I just want to go out there and enjoy it, be out here with my brothers, and just be able to represent the school and my team to the best of my ability.
And you said you graduated in December.
Yeah.
What was your degree?
I got my degree in criminal justice, and then I got 2 minors in psychology and sociology.
So when football is done, what kind of is your plan?
I'd like to go into law enforcement, work my way up federally, maybe do some FBI stuff, I don't know. Or go back into coaching, do something like that. So probably those are kind of my 2 options when everything's said and done, to either go into my degree or get back to the game and go into coaching or something.
How has your position changed and your versatility helped you through the different levels of football, and how much has your position changed from originally when you were playing as a high school freshman?
Yeah, so I came in, all I played my freshman year, playing the freshman team, I was a quarterback, and then I kicked, opponent, I believe. Sophomore year, I did some JV quarterback, and then I played some varsity. I kicked off varsity, kicked field goals, and then I played some free safety. And my junior year, all I did was kicked, punted, and played free safety. And then senior year, I was able to go back and play quarterback and do all 3 again. But going to college, I played a completely different position. Played linebacker, did some punting and stuff there. Transitioned to the NFL, they look back and see, I played quarterback, I played safety, played linebacker, I kicked, I punted, and that's going to help me tremendously moving on to the next level. And just even here for you guys, I know some of you guys have been quarterbacks your whole life, or D tackles or O linemen, being able to just fit in wherever they think you guys can, wherever you guys can, help the team out. I played both ways my senior year, kicked and I punted. I rarely left the field. And even talking with people now in college, I don't know how you did that, that's awesome that you did that. I was like, I didn't really take anything away at the time. I was just trying to play football. So, if you've been a quarterback role, I feel like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to play, switch to receiver, switch to whatever position you can. So, the more versatile you can be, it's going to help you out here for playing time. It's going to help you if you guys want to go play at the next level. Coaches are going to see that and say, he played 5 different positions in high school. He was successful at all. We want an athlete because we can transition wherever we can on the field. So that helped me out a ton, and it's going to help me out a ton at the next level.
What team do you play the best chemistry with?
So what team? Man, that's tough. Because every team's a little different, and I like to think of myself as I can fit whatever team. So a big thing for me is special teams. So usually special teams are pretty much the same on every team. So that's how I'm going to be able to get on a team. really have a specific team that I'm like, I wish they picked me up. I'd love to play for the Chiefs, but I'd also love to play for anybody. So just whoever will take a chance on me, and that's where I'm going to go.
How did you get rid of outside influences in college?
No, that's a good question, because I've had a lot of my teammates have asked me that, because I've seen a lot of my teammates, really a couple guys that were from here that went on to play with me, who outside influences eventually made them leave. But my wife was huge on that. She really kept me sane, kept me focused. I didn't really have any problems going out and partying, and a lot of guys get into drinking and sad with drugs. They fail out of class because they're not going to class. But I was always raised to work hard. When I signed my letter to go play for Linwood, I knew that's what I wanted to do. And I've always had that dream of going to play college football and going to just go on and be in the position I'm at. And so I knew going in to college that those are very real situations. And seeing my teammates go through it, seeing guys that I cared about falling into partying and they fail out of class. The next thing they know, they're not eligible for next season's coach cuts to a scholarship. And now who knows where they're at now, And so I was really just, I'm not going to sit there and say, I was perfect. I didn't do anything wrong. But I knew what I wanted. And I knew football wasn't going to last forever. And so my mentality, it still is I can go and drink, when I'm done playing football. But I understand, and I can go out and eat whatever I want. I can go out and stay up late and not get any sleep. But it's like right now I know that's what's going to put me over the next guy. Because I'm not doing that. Because I know that stunts your performance. It hurts you. And so, I'm not 6'3", 250 pounds, so that I go play football at Michigan. I'm 5'11", 240 pounds, play at Linwood University. No one's ever heard of it. So I need every chance I can get to beat these guys, and that's doing the little things right, like I always say. So
one of the cool things talking to Coach Gates last night about this is how he felt like you were a self-made football player. Like you always had talent, you always had good instincts. You could fight over whether you should be a linebacker or not in high school. But that you turned yourself into what you are. Whereas some other guys possibly have, like what you were talking about, the 6'3".
Yeah, some guys are just born. I trained with a guy who was 6'7", 330 pounds, played tackle at Michigan and had 14% body fat. He's just naturally a freak. I mean, this guy, we watched him eat a whole cake, and the next day he's still 14% body fat. Like, I'm not like that, so, and I kind of knew that going into, my college career. Is like, I'd go in and, there was guys bigger than me, stronger than me, faster than me, and I was like, I'm not going to be able to just athletically, naturally beat these guys. Like, I got to beat them in the weight room. I got to beat them in the classroom. There's guys that might have been better than me, but they weren't eligible. They didn't work hard. They just thought they could step on the field and do it. I was like, I gotta be my playbook. I gotta do extra work in the weight room, on the field. I gotta eat right. I gotta get my sleep. I made those my priorities, and I think that's why I've had so much success, is doing the little things right that no one else wants to do, because they want to enjoy the college experience. They want to go out and party. That's fine, do that. But if you're going to do your 4 years and you're going to leave college, you're like, what do I do now? If that's what you want to do, that's fine. That's not what I wanted to do. And so, I had always had that dream of playing at the next level. I always wanted to keep playing at the next level as long as I could. Like I said earlier, I knew that those things, doing the little things right, is going to keep you doing that. And I knew once it's all said and done, I can go do what I want to do. I can enjoy the pizza with my friends and wife. I don't like eating like crap anymore, because I know that somewhere in this country there's someone in my position that's probably working out or doing these little things just like me. I got to keep staying on that. So, oh yeah, so I don't know if you guys have heard of, you guys probably watch Alabama football, right? You guys know who Reuben Foster is, or linebacker, supposed to be like a top 5 pick. So you probably saw that he got kicked out of the combine. And so like one of the big things at the combine is they want to see how you act under pressure, under stress. There's long days, a lot of hurry up and wait. They don't let you eat a lot. You get 0 sleep. So by the time you run on that 4th day, you're like dead tired. Well, we were at the hospital waiting for x-rays, and we've been waiting for almost 6 hours, and you know, everyone's frustrated, everyone's upset because they want to just get out and go do what they have to do. And Reuben Foster got into it with one of the nurses and got kicked out of the combine. And I watched it all happen, and it was kind of interesting because he has the mentality of, look who I am. I'm Reuben Foster. He knows he's a top 10 pick. He knows that he played at Alabama, he's going to make millions of dollars. Well, he decided to get upset with one of the male nurses and push him or whatever he did, and got kicked out of the combine. And now he's dropped like 3 or 4 spots. So he's losing, doesn't seem like a lot, but he's losing a couple $1 million. So it's like, I looked at that and I was just like, why, in my head, I can't believe he did that, but I was like, why would you ever do something like that? Because, first of all, I wasn't raised like that, but like, this program and my college program would never allow something like that. So it's kind of weird seeing a guy from Alabama who's pretty much guaranteed to make millions of dollars go and mess that up in an instant. And that was kind of eye-opening for me, because it's kind of put into perspective just the different guys in the NFL, and how a little decision like that, if I were to do something like that, I probably would never get a shot at the NFL, because I didn't go play at Alabama. I'm just a small school guy, kind of on the border anyways. So, if I were to do something like that, every team would be like, no, we're not going to take a chance on it. So, and I kind of put that into, for you guys, your decisions you make now are going to affect the rest of your life. Even if it's that, a big thing nowadays, social media. I'm sure all you guys have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, stuff like that. And it's like, I remember when I think my freshman year in high school, I got Facebook. My parents told me, watch what you say on there. I was like, why? Like, no one's gonna see it, whatever. I'm sure you guys have already seen you can go on and it says, look what you said, or look what you posted 7 years ago to this day. And I've looked at it a few times and I'm like, what the heck did I ever post that for? And it wasn't like anything super bad, but it was just like I was cussing in it and stuff, and I was like, that's not what I should have been saying. So what I'm saying is, going into this process I'm now, big thing with the NFL is they look at your social media. We had the GM for the Vikings talk to us one night at the combine, and he pulled up a whole stack of papers, and it was everybody's social media accounts. And they had pictures from guys' Instagrams, stuff they said on Twitter, and it was, if your name was highlighted in red, that means they weren't even going to take a chance on you. So, that being said, for you guys, and I know Coach at Lindenwood, and I've talked to them about recruiting and stuff, and one of the things they do is they go on whoever they're recruiting, whoever they hear a name, they'll go look at them on Facebook, look and see what they're posting on Twitter. And if they're kind of on the edge, they're like, no, we don't want them. We want guys with character, guys with, discipline and stuff like that. So, you guys are at the age where, like, even I was, it's like social media, everyone's on social media. But it's like, watch what you guys say, because you guys could say something today that a couple years from now, you guys are trying to go play college football, and they might pull up a picture of you drinking a beer when you're 17 years old. This dude was drinking beer when he's 17 years old. What kind of guy is he really? Because, you go in for a job interview or whatever, you're going to be on your best behavior. Everything's going to be perfect. So they want to see who you are, in reality. And one of the ways they can do that is through social media, because people just post stuff all the time of, what they're doing. And I've seen guys at Lindenwood get scholarships cut, they've gotten kicked off the team, they've gotten suspended for weeks because of stuff they post on social media. The administration sees it, they're like, that's not what we stand for. So, just be watching like what you guys do. I'm not saying be robots and don't have fun and trying to be this perfect person because no one is, but just realize that what you guys do today, tomorrow, next week could affect, you get into the school you've always wanted to get into, you get into play college baseball, whatever, so just keep that in mind.
How does the college basketball differ from high school versus?
So if I remember right, here, what you guys practice like 3 hours? A couple hours?
Yeah.
You split up to, in college you have enough guys where, so like I only played linebacker in college. So I was with the defense the whole time. So when I was in high school here, we do like half and half, like an hour offense, hour defense. So in college, it's the offense is on one side, defense is on the other. We go by a 5-minute period, so we have like a 24-period practice. So the clock was always running, counts from 5 minutes down. And so we would get out, we would stretch, do some individual, come together as a group, do some like walk-through stuff, come together with the offense, do some 7-on-7. We do some inside run stuff, and we come together, do some team. And by that time, practice is over. So it kind of just depends what program you go to, but we always had pretty long practices, 2.5 hours. To some people they're long. I thought they were long. Now we have a new coach at Lindenwood, and I've been up to their practices, and they go like 18 periods, a lot shorter. So just kind of depends where you go, but you don't do really any like live hitting. You do that in like fall camp, like in spring ball. That's one thing that's different about college is you have 15 practices in the spring. So that's for like younger guys that kind of get caught up on the playbook and stuff. But you ultimately have, I wouldn't call it 2 seasons, but it is essentially 2 seasons. You have the fall, we play 12 games, and then you have the spring where you go for a month of 15 practices and have the spring game. But it's like a job, it really is. You're not getting paid, but you get a scholarship. Even if you're not getting a scholarship, they expect you to take it on as like a job. So I always tell guys, come on recruiting visits that freshmen that are coming in, if you don't love the game, you won't last. And that's because you put in so much time, whether it's studying playbook, whether it's meetings, weight room, just stuff like that, that you're just gonna get tired of it. Even I love the game of football, I got tired of it because after your second year, you're learning the playbook you already know again and again and again. And so a lot of guys come in and they leave the next year because it's too much. Can't get up at 6 a.m. to do a workout and have meetings and have class and have practice and have study table. By the time study table's done, it's 9:30 and I gotta do it all over again. So it's a full-time job, but it pays off. It's a lot of fun. I'm sure you guys have dreams of going to play. What I always tell guys is find a school that fits you. Everyone has these dreams of going to play in the zoo or these big Division I schools, and I had did too. And I had some offers to go play for some Division I schools, but I knew going in I wanted to play. And I wanted to play early as much as I could. Bigger schools were telling me, hey, you're in a red shirt, it's going to be a couple years before we see you on the field. And I was like, I just want to go play football. If I'm good enough, the NFL will find me. If not, then I just played as much as I could. So what I really liked about Lindenwood was, they told me I'd come in and compete for the starting spot right away. Visited and liked the team, liked the coaches. Had the degree I wanted, that was huge. Some of the other schools, like Northwest Missouri, I loved their program. And if I would have went there, I could have won a couple national championships, but they didn't have the degree I wanted. So I was like, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, I know what I want to do. Let's study criminal justice. I want to switch my degree just so I can go play football for 4 years. So, that being said, going into, even if you just want to go to a school, find a school that fits you, what you want. Don't get caught up in, everyone's going to Mizzou, I want to go to Mizzou with them. find a school that fits you and what you want to get out of it, you'll be fine. Because I don't have any regrets. You know, it's what a lot of teams ask me is, how did you end up at Lindenwood? And you ever think about transferring? And I had some opportunities to transfer if I wanted to play at bigger schools, and it's like, no, I made a commitment. I want to stay loyal to Lindenwood, and it worked out. So
It sounds like your competition that you've described to us has been pretty consistent, and it's always in the back of your head that, if you eat this slice of pizza, that there's somebody else right now who's already burned off, double the calories that piece of pizza was. It sounds like it's very calculated in your head. How do you deal with that on such a daily basis?
oh man, she's laughing at me because it's like, it's probably not good for me to say, but it's like, that's a problem. I'm like, that's not good. I shouldn't think like that, but I do. And it's hard for me to do it. You can even ask her if she would answer, but it's hard for me to enjoy stuff, like when we go with friends to even eat at like a barbecue place, like I'll eat before and we'll go out and I'll just hang out. And so, and then there's times where I'm, like, hey, I'll take a cheat meal or whatever. But that's because I've kind of set myself into that mentality. And I would tell you guys, don't do that, because one thing I learned through combine training, through talking to dietitians, when I went up there, all these guys learned a lot more than I did. I learned like opposite. I learned how to kind of relax a little bit and experiment with different foods and understand that there's times and places to eat these foods. And those guys kind of learned, oh, maybe I shouldn't eat 3 slices of pizza, I should have this instead. For me, it was, I could eat this because, it's not the same nutrition facts, but I just got done working out. My body will take that in just like, so I would just say don't have that mentality to a certain extent. But obviously, there's a time and place for everything. But when I was trying to gain weight, I was eating McDonald's like twice a day because I was burning so many calories, and I just always had a high metabolism, and so I was just trying to eat as much food as I could. Started gaining weight, but really it's gotten to the point where it's like it's hard for me to enjoy the little things, and it's hard for me to do things with my wife and friends and stuff that they want to do, because they'll go do them, but then I'll be like, yeah, I'll go along, but I won't eat the ice cream with you guys and stuff. So there's a time and place for everything, but I've always had a mentality. So right now my thought process is, if I stop this now, it might affect me. When in all reality, it probably won't. But
Do you think that will relax when you maybe commit to a team, or you find someone that you want to continue playing?
Maybe a little bit. I've been trying to work on it. Ever since combine training, been kind of a little more relaxed, especially since I've been kind of had some more downtime. But I don't know. I kind of have that same mentality of when I'm done playing, I'll be able to enjoy those things. But as of right now, what I've been doing has worked. So why stop? Even though I know it's not really healthy for me to have this mentality, but I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting.
Connor, you mentioned a little bit about the psychology of the sport and everything, and just pushing through how do you push through those times where it feels like a grind, and do you have a routine or anything that you do on a daily basis that kind of mentally prepares you for the day or the tough part of it all?
I would say one of the big things that helps me push through things, especially when it comes to the team and football and stuff, and like conditioning and stuff like that, and hard workouts, is the guys that are doing it with you. One thing I loved about here was the summer program. You guys should all take advantage of that every single day you can. But that's one thing that separated us, and I truly believe that's why we were able to beat Francis Allen and CBC. CBC, I thought, was athletically better than us, but when it came to the third and fourth quarter, we just dominated. And that was because of the summer. That was because of conditioning in the fall and stuff, because we were here at 5:30 in the morning. We committed to something great. Our freshman year, we told each other, there's a few of us that got moved up. We're lucky to get moved up and see what state championship team looked like. Unfortunately, they didn't win it, but they got there, and we were able to see that. And we told each other, like, we're gonna stick together, and we're gonna win a state championship by our senior year. And so we committed the summer before our senior year to being there at 5:30 in the morning for workouts, doing the extra stuff, staying together, pushing each other through that. I say that's how then it even transitioned to college, how I got through it. And I was able to lead those guys that didn't go through a program like this, that, after they got done with the sprint, their hands were on these, they're so tired. We weren't allowed to do that here. And so just being able to have that kind of different edge, being able to push through it, I think the guys, you guys together are what's going to help you push through that the most. And then I would say just through other things, just understanding and surrounding yourself with people who care about you. Because one thing I struggled with, especially this year, was, and luckily we had a sports psychologist on campus that I was able to talk to. One thing I had trouble dealing with was it being my last year, having like NFL scouts and stuff coming to watch me play, and trying to focus on the team and this year, not worrying about the future, And that was something I struggled with. And just having, the people that care about you the most, that are able to talk to you through those things, and get you over those humps, was huge for me. And not being scared to be like, go talk to people about stuff. I didn't want people knowing that I was talking to a sports psychologist. I'm a guy that holds everything in until I can't anymore. But it's not healthy, and it's like, no one's perfect. Everyone needs help at some point. So, things are going to eventually be so weighted on your shoulders that you can't hold anymore. And so you got to have people around you that truly care about you. There's people that say, it's kind of funny. I've had people in my life, like these coaches, friends, limited friends through high school that have been there through this whole process. But as I've started to get, go to the combine, have articles written about me for NFL, there's these people coming out of the woodworks that are like, oh, what's up, man? Remember me? I went to high school with you. And it's like, those guys don't really care about me. The people that have always been there my whole life, which ones that truly care about me, those are the people that you guys gotta find. I have a lot of, I wouldn't say, there's a lot of guys from high school that I still keep in contact with, but there's very limited guys that, I still, call my true friends. And that's because they've been there when, I was just a football player and then moved my freshman year. When I was just a normal person. I still am normal, but, when a lot of things weren't going for me, they were there. So that's what helped me push through the mental toughness parts and stuff.
When you're in high school, how often do you work out?
So I just worked out, with the team up until my junior year. I didn't really understand working out. I just went in there. I had the same routine every day, but I just did what they told me. And then as I got older and I started doing some extra stuff, there's a fine line between overtraining and not training enough. Not that I wasn't training enough here, but I was like, I wasn't playing another sport, so I was like, I want to get in the weight room as much as I could. And so, I was working out probably 4 or 5 times a week, still working out 5 times a week, but I'm smarter on how I train. I'm done growing as far as I was done growing a long time ago, but now it's maintaining my strength. I don't need to go put on 10 pounds of muscle or whatever it is. I just gotta have to, be able to maintain my strength and stay healthy. So I train a little differently now, but when I was trying to get bigger and stronger and stuff, I was working out like 4 or 5 times a week. But also the thing that's gonna separate you guys from others, it's not about how much you work out, it's how you work out. So I was always the type of kid that I would throw on as much weight as I could and try and squat it. But I would end up moving like 3 inches and be like, I just squatted 400 pounds. When in all reality, if I were to take the weight off, I'd probably only be able to squat 200 pounds. But I wanted to show everyone how I can do this, but that didn't help me. So I would say for you guys is don't worry about how much you're lifting, worry about, you lifting it correctly. 'Cause there's a lot of guys, even in college, I'm like, geez, you say you squat 500 pounds, but really, you don't. And so that's one thing that I wish I would have done. I would have been a lot stronger than I am now if I would have properly learned how to lift. And these coaches will teach you that, but,
You're talking about your workouts. You just work weights, or you do agility training, isokinetics. How do you break down your workouts?
So luckily I was able to get a program from the people I was training with before the combine. And I'm kind of in a weird phase right now because, like I said, I'm just trying to maintain my strength. Because I'm already strong enough to where I need to be to play at the next level. It's just doing things to make sure I stay healthy. So I'm doing a lot of, still working out weights-wise, doing a lot of, do upper body twice a week, lower body twice a week in the weight room. Also really focusing on stretching if I'm on, because I'm also going out and doing field work 3 times a week, 4 times a week. So that's just doing different linebacker drills. Kind of at the stage right now where I just need to get in shape and get as best condition as I can, getting ready for rookie camp after the draft. So, well, workouts are a little different than like what you guys would go through, But at the same time, I wish I would focus on stretching more, You never stretch enough. And yeah, it's not fun, but at the end of the day, it's going to help you with injuries. It's going to help you, later in your career. And then just properly learning technique and not worrying about how much you guys lift. It's more about how you lift it, lifting it properly. I think that's going to help you the most.
Dynamic stretching, or what kind of stretching?
Yeah, so I would do a lot of dynamic stretching, after you work out and then even before bed. But like, when you get to the weight room, don't do a whole lot of dynamic stretching. Do some more, I'd say, do a little dynamic stretching. I don't know if you guys have foam rollers here.
We have some, but we don't.
So I always like foam roll, and then I'll do a series of like different movements, quick movements, that'll get my heart rate up, get me kind of sweating a little bit. Then I'll go into whatever my workout is. So even if it's just like high knees for 10 yards, high knees back, karaoke back, just shuffles, just something like that to get your heart rate up is going to help you more than just sitting on the ground, stretching your hammy, and then going to squat.
Where are you going to be next week or on draft day?
Probably going to be here in Kansas City. Right now, my wife and I are living back in St. Louis. I'm helping coach at Lindenwood and just working out there, but I'll be here. I probably won't watch the draft because it'll just be nerve-wracking and everything, but I'll be here with family and friends, just hanging out and hoping for the best.
What advice could you give our players next year for our next season?
The biggest thing is, there's going to be adversity. There's going to be times that, even I think back to my senior year, I think we played Rockhurst our second or third game and we lost to them. And it was like, we were like 2-1 or 1-1 at the time. And I was like, at that point, we could have just gone downhill or we could have built upon that. Even later in the season, we played Blue Springs and we really played a terrible game. Lost to them in the last couple minutes, but we had to win out if we wanted to move on. And I think that's where we kind of thought, hey, we can do this. But that started now. That started in the offseason. I'm sure a lot of you guys are playing, different sports. And that's awesome. You guys should. But, especially during the summer, you guys need to stick together and commit to workouts. I don't know how it is. Back when I played, it was freshmen had to get like at least 80% or something, but everyone else was expected to make a certain amount. Well, you're expected to make like 80-something%. We told each other, no, you got to make 100% because 80%. If you win 80% of your games, you're not going to go win a state championship. So I would say the best advice I'd have for you guys is, stick together really be there for each other and hold each other accountable, you know? There's your classmates that are your friends that don't play on the football team, that during the summer, they'll go out and stay up late, go party, you know, have fun. It's the summer, there's no classes. That's all fun, you know? The people that are in the stands watching you win a state championship, you know? They're not the ones that can go. My coach used to say, if anyone can do it, they call it people ball, not football. And I always used to laugh at it, but it's like, everyone wishes they could be in your seats, but no one wants to commit to the time. And that's the biggest difference, is I would say, go out and enjoy your summers, but realize, you know, that party is only gonna, whatever happens at that party is not gonna, you know, affect your life positively. You know, it can negatively affect your life, but any more than, you know, waking up at 5:30 to go work out, and you guys have this goal of winning a state championship. So I would just, to go on my soapbox, I would just stick together, you know, commit to what you guys want, and that's should be to win a state championship. And really hold each other accountable. You know, there's going to be guys that want to go out and party and be like, oh, I've made all the workouts up to this point, I can miss a couple days. It's like, no, you're going to go, you know, and being able to, if you're one of those guys that wants to go do that, be able to humble yourself and be like, you know, they're right, I need to go. I need to understand that we have this goal of winning a state championship. Because it's not going to take one person, it's not going to take 3, it's not going to take 11 guys. It's going to take every guy on this team, whether you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior. You know, whether you're a scout team player next year or you're a starter, those scout team players are going to help you win a state championship. You know, so it's going to take all you guys. So that's where we won. Is we had the culture of I can't remember what our attendance was, but we had guys at every single workout. Guys that were starters, guys that were sophomores that were trying to learn from us. So I would just say, man, I firmly believe championships are won in the offseason.
How did you balance the classroom and football in college?
In college? I didn't really have too much of a problem. So my first year, your first year is always just like your general classes. So take like English, math, whatever. But we had mandatory study tables, so you had to get a certain amount of hours a week studying. And so I think it was 6 hours a week. So you literally had to go there to study. So if you failed your classes the first year, it was just because you weren't doing it or you weren't going. So I feel like if you play a sport, especially football at Linwood, and I know every other team does it, the only reason you would fail or you wouldn't do good is because of yourself and not going to class and not doing work, because they're setting you up to succeed. You have to get certain hours, you have to go study, you have to go to class, you know, or you can't play football. So it's like, as long as you do those things, you'll be fine. And it's not like you go to college and you're taking all these classes you have no idea about. You know, they're not hard classes. It's just like football, it's just like anything you do. Whatever work you put in is what you're going to get out of it. You know, and I was never the guy that, I'll be honest, I didn't like school, you know, but I knew it was something I had to do. And I love football, but if I don't go to class, if I don't pass my classes, there's no football. So that's what guys don't understand at the next level is, you know, the 2 and 2 go together. You can't just expect to play football and not go to class because you won't be eligible. And you won't be in school for very long. So it was not very hard to balance the two, you know. But at the end of the day, it's just you gotta show up and be prepared and go into it with the mindset that, you know, that's something I gotta do and it'll be fun.
Who inspired you to football?
Who inspired me to play football? So I mean, growing up, I played soccer my whole life up until 6th grade, and then kind of got tired of it. And I always played up, so the guys, my teammates were moving on to like high school or 8th grade, so they're moving on playing for their schools, and it's like, you know, I don't want to find a new team. You know, I want to try football, and so I just kind of fell in love with the game. I don't know if anyone like really inspired me to play football. I conflicted with soccer. So that was always my first priority, and then kind of fell in love with the game, and I was just like, yeah, something I'm going to continue to do. So I wouldn't say someone like inspired me to play, but just seeing all my friends play, and my dad played in high school, just kind of got introduced to the game. The rest was history. Just kind of fell in love with it and went with it.
What was your score? What were your scores at the combine?
So I jumped a 9.6 broad, 33 inch vertical. I think I was like a 4.7 something, 40. Which, so like when you run 40 at the combine, you don't know what you ran. There's no screen that tells you, hey, you ran this. So like, I didn't really know what I ran. I asked some guys that weren't running to like check. And so like my first one, they had me at like 4.69. I was like, gosh, that's terrible. Because like before in training, I was running like low 4.6s, even high 4.5s. And I felt pretty good going into the day. Like my legs were heavy, but I was like, you know, I'm just gonna push through. Like I think I should be fine. So I ran slower than I wanted to on 40. I remember what I was running. 5.10.5. I didn't run as fast as I usually do. I was hitting like 4.1s, 4.08 in training, and I think I ran like a 4.20 or something. And then my 3 cone, I didn't run good either. I ran like a 7.1. So I decreased all my times. I actually jumped better than I had in training. Jumped higher and farther. But I did good in the position drills. So at the end of the day, they're like, look, we want to see your performance worse, then you're not going to be drafted off what you run at 40. You're going to be drafted off your film, what you did in college. So that was tough for me because I trained for so long to do so good at the combine, and it was like, I left the combine. I was so relieved that it was over, but then I was like, man, I didn't do as good as I wanted to. So at the end of the day, life goes on.
How many athletes were invited to the combine?
I think there was 300. 330.
Which is pretty awesome. But the college football players.
Yeah.
There's only 3 invited.
So there's 29 linebackers, and then one got kicked out, so there's 28.
What you said there just moved you right up the board.
Hopefully. Not as far as I probably wanted to, but no, great experience, you know. I always dreamed about wanting to go to the combine. You know, you see I had a teammate that went when I was a sophomore in college, and great experience. I'll remember forever, but it's one of those things where I wish I never did it again. When I was going into the combine, I was asking my teammate, asked a couple guys who were training at my facility that played in the NFL and were coming back, what's some advice you give me? They're like, don't go, turn around. And not because like they didn't like it, but it was so tiring and exhausting. But it's one of those things like you have to go. Like you're invited, not many people are invited. But I definitely see what they mean. It was a tough 4 days, but good experience.
Outside of the weight room, what we do here, practice, staying in here, what do you recommend we do to improve ourselves overall?
Like I said, stretching, getting in your playbooks, knowing what you're supposed to do. I would say the biggest thing is just like believing in this coaching staff, That's one thing we had trouble with at Lindenwood was guys thought they knew what they were supposed to do. Or guys thought they knew more than the coach. Then everyone's not on the same page. You don't do as well as you want to. So I wouldn't say go crazy and do all this other stuff that no one else is doing, but when you're away from football, go in your backyard, run some drills, or throw the football around, or stay active, stay doing stuff. I think that's the biggest thing is guys say they can come here for, let's just say you guys have workouts in the summer from 5:30 to 7:30. Guys think, I did my workout for the day, now I can just go and do whatever. Or it's like, no, it's a lifestyle, you know what I mean? So you can't expect to come in, work out for 2 hours, and then just be this great football player. It's something that you gotta consistently do. So whether that's work out here for 2 hours, then go back on the field and maybe do some extra sprints or do some 7-on-7, get some guys together, do some 7-on-7, or even guys in your position to do more work. And then maybe, I don't know, do you guys still do the 7-on-7 league? No, not the summers. But even just getting guys together to go, maybe you guys still have the dead week though, right? So like during the dead week, you know, yeah, you're tired, yeah, you want to like recoup, but you can go out a few days a week and do some extra sprints, you know, do some extra conditioning, because it's not gonna hurt, you know. But I'd say the biggest thing is just focusing on what you guys really want. And like I kind of always allude back to it, but we all told each other we wanted to win a state championship. And so knowing that it's going to take more than just, you know, the minimum workouts that you do here. And that doesn't mean you have to do completely extra stuff. That just means you got to be smart at what you do. You guys can't be going to parties and there's alcohol there, and now you guys get MIPs, minors in possession, and now you miss 3 games. I think we had a guy my senior year do that. Luckily, it was the first game of the season, and we were able to push through. But if we played, you know, I think we played great down south in our first game. He was out. If we would have played Columbia or Rockbridge, and we lost that game, we weren't moving on. So it's like little stuff like that can ultimately make or break your season. So just being smart about what you guys do. I mean, there's no problems with going to parties, but you know, just realize there's alcohol there. I'm under the age. I can get in trouble. You know, and it's not taken lightly here. You know? It shouldn't be. You know, so just being smart about what you do. And then if you guys want to do extra stuff, just extra position work, extra running, conditioning, stretching, stuff like that.
Did you ever talk to anybody about your athlete?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I've talked to, I'm trying to think of some of the guys who do now. Like Miles Garrett from Texas A&M, so the #1 overall pick. Like, I didn't have a conversation with him, but he was a nice guy. I don't say what's up to him. But, you know, one thing that is kind of cool about, you know, the Senior Bowl I went to, which was down in Mobile, Alabama, which is a week of practice, and when you have a game. No one really cares about where you're from, especially the NFL coaches. You know, they're not like, oh, this guy played Division II football. If anything, they're like, holy crap, that guy played Division II football, he's up here with us. But, you know, they don't treat you any different, because it's not where you're from, it's what you're doing from here. So everyone's chasing the same dream. I was able to talk to guys from Virginia Tech, Michigan, Alabama, big schools, guys that you're going to see playing next year. And it'll be cool to watch their success. But yeah, I mean, it was a cool experience.
So, Connor, in the NBA, and this is a little off topic, but in the NBA, there's guys that say don't draft me at the end of the draft, because then they have options, because they can kind of see where I might fit best. Does it work like that in the NBA?
It does, yeah. And so you'll hear that sometimes, you know, guys will say, man, even I've heard agents say, like, you know, it's better to be a free agent than being selected in the 7th round.
What do you want to do?
I want to be drafted.
Right.
You know, I'm confident where I don't care if I'm the 4th round or 7th round pick, like I'm going to make the team. And even if I do go as a free agent, I'm going to do that as well. But I feel like I've worked hard and I've put myself in a position that, and it's always been a dream of mine to be drafted, you know, that's just one of my goals. So I feel like I'm good enough to be drafted. If I'm not going to sit there and, you know, hang my head and be like, oh, I failed, because I'm going to get a shot, you know. But yeah, there's people that say that because you have options, you know, so if you're not drafted, you might have 15 teams call you and say, hey, we want to sign you. Now you get a pick. All right, this team, let's say the Patriots, they're known to sign free agent guys. They like small school guys. They need to fill 2 linebacker spots. That's a better fit for you. Whereas I can get drafted by, let's say, the Steelers. The Steelers are known to cut their 7th round. They're pretty stacked at linebackers, and I probably have a good chance I'll make the team. So there's benefits like that. But then also, there's teams that they'll keep all the draft picks, so it kind of just depends. But I mean, the Chiefs a couple years ago cut one of their 4th round draft picks they picked before they got into the season. So I mean, really, unless you're a 1st or 2nd round pick, you know, you're not guaranteed to make the team. So it doesn't really matter how you're picked in. It just, if you get a shot, you just got to make the most of it.
Okay, I think we all want to know how much team you have to squat. Thank you very much.
Man, honestly, I haven't like maxed out on squat because I've been training, you know, for the combine, and we didn't do a whole lot of stuff. But I think the heaviest I got up to at school was like 540, which is, there's guys that squat a lot more than me, but like, you know, I was able to transition with that on the field. I think that was the biggest thing for me was I got humbled pretty quick because I wasn't the strongest. Like here, I was one of the strongest guys. Going to college, even into my senior year, there was freshmen, there was sophomores lifting with me. It was like, we had a guy on our team, for example, who outlifted all the Olympic weights. We had an Olympic weightlifting team, and he was setting like school records. When he got to the football field, it was like he did not play football, so it didn't help him. So, clean, I think the most I got up to was like 360, and then you said bench as well. My bench isn't very good, it's probably 350, what I've got up to, which was average, I'd say, for linebacker. But again, it's not really how much you lift, it's being able to lift it correctly and have that transition to the field. Because you can lift, like the guy on our team, you can lift as much as you want. You can set all these school records, it can be really cool, but you're on the football team, you're not on the Olympic weightlifting team. So if you can't play football, it doesn't matter if you bench press 100 pounds. If you can bench press 100 pounds and go play in your Heisman winner, who cares, you know? So I would get caught up in that, and I did get caught up in that. If I went to the weight room one day, and there was another linebacker there that was lifting more than me, you know, my first couple of years, I'd be like, I'd get mad. I'd be like, there's no way that they should be lifting more than me, I gotta do more. But it's like, when we got to the football field, he wasn't playing, you know, stuff like that. So it was like, that stuff really doesn't matter. It's more being as strong as you can and not worrying about other guys and, you know, using that to your advantage.
Sorry, would you say that you use visualization in your goal setting at all? Like, do you see yourself doing certain things and then that kind of sets you in motion?
Kind of. I'm not a huge like visualization guy, but then I would say I am, because there's times like before games and you know the night before I don't sleep a whole lot, so like I'm constantly always thinking about you know the game and kind of visualizing. I also visualize myself like messing up, you know what I mean? So I kind of use that to my advantage of, you know, I'm constantly worried about the game, you know, I hope I don't mess up. You know, that's probably not the right mentality to have, but it keeps me on edge, keeps me not relaxed. So I do visualize, especially like right before the game. I'll walk out to the field during warm-ups and just kind of get a feel for, you know, the environment and stuff like that. I'm not a huge visual guy, but I know there are guys that are like that, so I respect it, but I'm not one of those guys, probably.
Can you talk about how important it is with your watching film and not, how you learn to watch film and not just watch the game?
Yeah. So I heard that a lot my freshman year, and I had no idea what my coach was saying. He would just be like, because I would turn on the film and, you know, I just watch whatever, and then I wouldn't really get anything out of it. You know, I would kind of know what they're doing. Then he kind of started teaching us like how to watch film and understanding like tendencies. So like for me, it didn't matter what team I was watching because, you know, every week we get 3 games of the opponent playing different teams, and I would watch the year before us. But I always watch the linebackers, and then it's kind of tough because a lot of the defenses in our league were different than ours. So they ran stuff differently than how they would against us. But, you know, you learn to look at like tendencies. So like for me, how we would read as linebackers would be guard, it'd be a triangle guard to center to the nearest back. So like, you're playing a run-heavy team, you know, and they run a lot of power, you know, you'll eventually see their guard who's pulling, he might be leaning a little more, or his hands are light. So you start learning tendencies of, you know, what they do. They come out in this formation, and it's third and long, you know, it's 100% pass. You know, it's little stuff like that where I wouldn't know that unless you watch it, you know, over and over, and you start seeing little things. It just comes with time. You're not gonna. There's a lot of times where I look at it and I'm like, oh, this 72, he's lying on his hands, you know, when it's pass, or his foot's slanted a little bit when it's pass, and then you watch it come on, you're like, all right, that's definitely not, you know, the case. So. It just kind of comes with time. You're just learning that, you know, it does help you with time. You know, and I thought I could just go out there my freshman year. You know, I'd watch film, but then I started running play. I started realizing that, you know, the more you watch film, the more you see, you know, your opponent, the better you're going to do against them. And so, and in college it's a little different because like my senior year, I had class twice a week. So I was able to just do a whole lot of film. So obviously you guys are in class all day, but watching film as much as you can is going to help you guys in the long run, for sure.
What was going through your head before and after?
Honestly, I didn't know I broke the record till I came on, really till they scored a touchdown. I came off the field. But my coach was trying to like tell me congrats, and I just kind of like, I didn't blow him off, but I was just like, gave him a high five and I kept walking. But, no, I mean, a lot of people ask me that, and honestly, the record to me, I look at it two ways. One, it's a huge honor to, you know, have that record. You know, you look at guys that are in the top 5 or whatever, that are great football players that are winning the NFL, playing long careers. You know, it's really cool, but then I look at it as, you know, our defense struggled. You know, I was able to make a lot of plays, but you know, I would rather have our team playing more football games than be breaking the record, you know? And that's me being completely honest with you. We won 3 games last season, you know? And yeah, I broke the record. It's like, how can you celebrate yourself when you guys are losing? And so, that'll be something I'll look back at, you know, 10, 15 years back. Yeah, that's really cool. But I would have rather won, you know, more football games. So I didn't really have anything like, you know, after the game, I was like, you know, it's pretty cool, but we lost. It was a long trip home. So I didn't really think of it, you know, as anything. And I still really don't, because I'm still chasing, you know, the dreams. And it had never been one of those things where I'm like, you know, I want to go break the tackle record. It's just something that kind of happened, honestly. So I didn't really have nothing specifically within my head other than, I mean, it was a huge honor, huge accomplishment, but I'm here to play football for the team. Just kind of win more football games and trying to win versus, you know, having self-accomplishments.
How much did breaking the record help with recruiting? Did it help at all?
I would say so. A lot of teams I talk to, you know, they always bring it up, like, you know, how's it feel, you know, whatever. I think what helped me was kind of the publicity of that, of, you know, got my name out there. But then there's also a lot of critics that say, yeah, he broke the tackle record, but he played Division II football, you know. So you can look at it both ways. But at the same time, they don't care if you broke the tackle record or if you're a 2-time Heisman winner. You know, they want to see what you can do at the next level. You know, it's all about, to them, it's all about your potential. You know, it's not really about what you did in college. Just like it doesn't, to the NFL teams, it doesn't matter what division I play football. You know, it doesn't matter if you're Division III, Division II, Division I AA, or, you know, in the FBS. To them, it's what's your potential? How can you help our team? So, I think it definitely kind of got my name out there. Maybe helped me get into the Senior Bowl and Combine, but you know, we'll see. Hopefully it keeps. If it did help me, hopefully it keeps something. if you guys have any other questions, think about some of the next couple days, tell one of the coaches, have them reach out to me, and I'll respond and get that back to you. But, don't feel like any question is a dumb question to ask. Because I was sitting in your seats, a few years ago, and I always had questions, but I never would ask them. I'd always be like, oh, I wonder what he would have said. Well, I always lost that chance. So if you guys really do have questions, whatever, ask one of the coaches, they'll text me and we'll get it back to you. And hopefully help you guys out. Thanks a lot. Yeah, no problem. Thanks, guys.
Give them a round of applause.